You stand in your living room. It's quiet. The night breeze stirs the curtains, and there, under the table, lies a trail of crumbs from dinner. You reach for the broom, and suddenly you pause. Your grandmother's voice echoes in your mind. Don't sweep at night. It invites Satan. You'll sweep away your risk. You hesitate, not because you believe it, but because you're not sure if you don't. So you put the broom down, just in case, because what if this small act causes some unseen harm? And that's how generations of Muslims, even those who love Allah, fall into inherited fear, choosing superstition over knowledge, caution over clarity. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing content. But today we ask, what really happens if you sweep your house at night? Is there any basis in the Quran? Did the Prophet, peace be upon him, warn us against it? Does it affect barakah? Does it anger the jinn? Will it make you poor? Or have we misunderstood completely? Let's begin by doing something very few of us do anymore. Distinguish Islam from culture. Where did the myth come from? To answer that, we travel not to Makkah or Medina, but into the unwritten archives of the Muslim world's collective memory. The belief that sweeping at night is spiritually dangerous exists across many cultures. In Malay households, especially among elders, night sweeping is taboo. In Indian villages, it's said to chase away Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. In parts of rural Africa, it's feared that you will disturb jinn resting in the corners. In Arab folklore, it's seen as a way to sweep away your destiny. But here's the key. These warnings do not come from the Quran. They do not exist in the hadith corpus. They are not part of the Sunnah. They are folk beliefs, myths from pre-Islamic animism, Hindu cosmology, and oral superstition that merged into Muslim life during colonial times and local dawah. Like many inherited taboos, they weren't evil. They were attempts to explain the unseen, but they were never divinely revealed. And when culture pretends to be revelation, it becomes a bid disguised as respect. Now let's ask, is there any hadith, sahih, hasan, or even da'if that forbids sweeping at night? No, none, zero, not in Sahih Bukhari, not in Sahih Muslim, not in Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, or Ibn Majah. No narration exists where the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Don't sweep your house at night, you will chase away risk, the jinn will be angered." Nothing. In fact, the only related hadith are about nightfall in general, and even those are spiritual guidelines, not superstitions. When night falls, bring your children indoors, for the devil's spread out at that time. Then, when an hour of the night has passed, let them go, cover your utensils, close your doors, tie your water skins, and mention the name of Allah. For Shaitan does not open a closed door. Notice something. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught practical spiritual habits, not mythical warnings. He focused on dhikr, protection, hygiene, and intention, not fear of brooms. So the idea that sweeping disturbs the jinn or drives away wealth, that's not Islam. That's folklore dressed in Islamic clothing. Let us recall a timeless prophetic principle that cuts through myths. Whoever introduces into this matter of ours that which is not from it, it is rejected, and again, you will surely follow the ways of those before you. Even if they entered the hole of a lizard, you would follow them. When we take cultural practices and attach them to Islam, without evidence, we risk distorting the religion. Islam doesn't fear the broom. Islam doesn't fear the broom. Islam fears ignorance that wears the mask of religion. What actually brings poverty? Let's speak clearly. You're not poor because you swept the floor. You're poor because we have turned our backs on Allah. We live in a world where we've memorized the myths, but ignored the meanings. You fear the broom, but not riba. You fear disturbing the jinn, but not missing fajr. You fear sweeping crumbs, but not sweeping the Quran under layers of dust on your shelf. So let's turn to Allah's words. Allah destroys interest and increases charity. You want barakah? Don't avoid sweeping. Avoid riba. And whatever you give for interest to increase within the wealth of people will not increase with Allah. But what you give in zakah, desiring the face of Allah, those are the multipliers. Your risk is not determined by the broom. It's written by Al-Razak, the sustainer. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "If the son of Adam were to flee from his risk, as he flees from death, his risk would still overtake him. So then what repels barakah from your house? Let's list it directly. Backbiting in the home, missing salah, earning haram income, watching haram content, not saying bismillah on your food, neglecting the Quran, showing disrespect to parents. These are the things that rot your house from the inside. These are the things that rot your house from the inside. These are the termites of your spiritual foundation." What happens in the house at night? Now, let's look at the actual authentic hadith about nighttime. When night comes, bring your children indoors, for the devils spread out at that time. Then when an hour has passed, let them go. Extinguish your lamps when you sleep, close the doors and mention Allah's name, cover your vessels, tie your water skins, for Shaitan does not open a closed door or uncover a vessel. Did the Prophet, peace be upon him, mention the broom? No, but he did teach us to recite Ayat al-Kursi before sleeping. Say Surah al-Ikhlas, al-Falaq, and Anas 3 times each. Sleep in a state of wudu, say Bismillah on doors. Food, containers, avoid argument and shouting at night. These are spiritual safeguards. The night is not a time of danger if you anchor it in tight. Want your house to be a fortress? Here are 7 habits of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companions for night protection. Recite Surah al-Baqarah often in your home. Shaitan flees from a house in which Surah al-Baqarah is recited, close doors and windows before Maghrib, saying, "In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, don't leave uncovered food or drink." Say the evening Adhkar, especially after Asr and Maghrib, 33 times, Subhana Allah, 33 times. Alhamdulillah Allah, 34 times, Allahu Akbar, 3 times. I seek refuge in Allahu Akbar, 3 times. I seek refuge in Allah's perfect words from the evil of what He has created. Sleep in wudu on your right side. Oh Allah, in your name I die and I live. Keep your home clean. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Cleanliness is half of faith. Avoid arguments, shouting, and sins after Maghrib." The presence of Shaitan in a house is not about sweeping. It's about sin. It's about heedlessness. It's about turning away from the Sunnah. Now you might say, what's the harm? It's just a small belief, but every small deviation opens the door to greater ignorance. It shifts your focus away from the real threats to your soul. You'll fear sweeping, but not backbiting. You'll panic about corners, but ignore the missed fajr. And then you might say something even more dangerous. My grandmother said this. She can't be wrong. But the Prophet, peace be upon him, warned, "Do not let your love for your ancestors cause you to deny the truth. Loving your elders does not mean inheriting their superstitions. Honor them, but correct their mistakes with mercy." Why do we believe these things? It's not that Muslims want to believe falsehood. It's that our hearts crave certainty, and in the absence of Quranic knowledge, we fill the gap with inherited caution. Your grandmother warned you, your mother repeated it, you passed it to your children, not out of malice, but out of fear. And fear is a powerful motivator. The fear of losing risk, the fear of disturbing spirits, the fear of what if, but the Quran says, "Indeed, it is only Shaitan who frightens you of his allies, so fear them not. But fear me, if you are believers." Allah tells us directly, "Do not fear shadows, fear losing me." So ask yourself, if your child believed something was dangerous but it wasn't, would you correct them? Of course you would, out of love. Then why do we hesitate to correct ourselves and our families? When a false belief is passed down unchecked, It becomes part of religion in people's minds. And then something terrifying happens. Sunnah is replaced by suspicion. Quran is replaced by quotes. Culture begins to compete with revelation. And so the Prophet, peace be upon him, warned, a time will come when people will not know what prayer is, nor fasting, nor charity. All they will have left is, we saw our fathers saying these words, so we say them too. This isn't just about sweeping. It's about the mechanism of misguidance. It starts small. Don't sweep at night, then grows. Don't cut nails on Thursdays, then explodes. Don't read Quran in this room. A jinn lives here eventually. You stop trusting Allah. You trust rumors. So what should we do? Begin with yourself. If you hesitated to sweep out of fear, release it, say, Hasbi Allah, Allah is my protector. Relearn the Quran's narrative about risk. Allah provides to whom He wills. Without limit, practice visible Sunnah in your home at night. Turn off devices, light the home with dhikr. Teach your children dua. Speak to your children dua. Speak gently to your elders. When your mother says, don't sweep, smile, hug her, and say, Ummi, I love you, and I found that the Prophet, peace be upon him, never said this. Let's sweep together and say Bismillah. Build your home's culture around Quran. Not hearsay, choose ayat over anecdotes. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the most beloved of places to Allah are the masajid, and the most hated are the marketplaces. Why? Because masajid are built upon remembrance, while marketplaces are built upon distraction. Now ask yourself, is your home more like a masjid or a marketplace? What fills your walls? Arrogance, gossip, music, neglect, or Quran, dhikr, cleanliness, salah? A clean home is not just tidy, it's aligned with the angels. Angels do not enter a house in which there is a dog or an image. And you worry about a broom? Let us end with a dua. O Allah, show us truth as truth and give us the ability to follow it. Show us falsehood as falsehood and give us the strength to leave it. Do not let our hearts be veiled by stories, but guided by your light. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Share it with your friends and subscribe for more amazing content.